Hey everyone, buckle up because today we're going deep diving, that is, into Aunt Bully.
Yeah, you know that movie where the kid gets shrunk down and has to live with the ants?
Oh, this is going to be fun. I actually just rewatched it with my kids the other day. It holds up surprisingly well.
Right. So we all know the basic plot. Kind of your standard kid learns a lesson type of thing. But our source material this week is suggesting there's a whole lot more going on beneath the surface of this movie than we might remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's posing the question, can a kids movie really offer insights into like big philosophical concepts?
That's what we're here to find out. And listen, even if you haven't seen Ant Bully, stick with us. This isn't just about the movie itself, but about the ideas it explores,
Yeah.
about how we see the world and our place in it.
Exactly. Like how often do we just completely overlook or misunderstand things just because they're different from us?
Okay, so back to the movie itself. We got Lucas, our main character. He's kind of jerk at the beginning, right? Like straight up bully, terrorizing the poor ants in his yard. Well, yeah, but I mean, he's a kid, right? Kids can be pretty self-centered. It's all part of his journey.
Yeah, and what a journey it is. He gets shrunk down by the ant wizard, Zoc.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. God, I love Zoc. The source actually points out that the movie does a really great job with the visuals, like creating this whole immersive experience, especially when Lucas first enters the colony.
Oh, yeah, it's like suddenly we're seeing the world from the ant's perspective.
Yeah.
Everything is massive,
Mm.
and there's this crazy, intricate network of tunnels and chambers.
It's amazing. It makes you realize how much we miss, right? Just going about our day, not even noticing the little worlds that exist all around us.
Totally. The source makes this point, too, that it challenges how we think about what's important. Like, we tend to focus on the big stuff, but there's so much complexity and beauty in the small things.
Like even an anthill.
Exactly. And okay, so the source uses this phrase, the serenity insight, which is kind of catchy, to describe this whole idea. Basically, it's saying that empathy, like truly understanding and feeling what another being is going through. That's like the key to actually getting wisdom, to seeing the world in a new way.
Totally. It's like when you can connect with something outside of yourself, you break down those walls of ego and prejudice and actually start to see the bigger picture.
And I mean, you see this happening with Lucas. He starts out totally self-centered, but as he experiences life as an ant, he learns to listen, to observe, and eventually to understand and care for this whole community that he initially saw as like beneath him.
Yeah, that's a huge part of his transformation, right? It's not about him trying to control everything anymore. It's about finding his place within something larger than himself.
Although some people might say he's just forced to adapt to survive, right? Not necessarily that he's developing genuine empathy.
That's a good point. But think about how he reacts later on, when the colony's threatened by the exterminator. Like, he doesn't just hide and try to save himself. He actively uses his knowledge as a human to help protect the ants.
Yeah. There's that scene where he basically becomes this brilliant strategist, like coming up with this whole plan to divert the poison and save the colony.
He's not just a member of the colony at that point. He's become, like, a leader.
Right. He's found this new purpose, this sense of belonging. And the source argues that this idea that we find meaning through connection and community rather than just focusing on ourselves, that's like this really powerful message woven into the film.
Totally agree. And I think what makes it even more effective is that it's subtle. It's not hitting you over the head with this message. It's more like showing you through the story and letting you draw your own conclusions.
Yeah. And the source actually mentions that the pacing of the movie, while not exactly perfect, plays a part in this too. It says that the heart of the film,
Hmm.
the real message, it kind of sneaks up on you
Yeah.
and really sticks with you.
Absolutely. It's not about the action or the spectacle. It's about those little moments of connection, watching Lucas slowly transform as he gets to know the ants. And that's what makes it so powerful.
So, okay, bringing this back to our listeners, what can we take away from Ant Bully? Like, besides maybe not stepping on anthills anymore?
Huh. Well, I think it's asking us to consider our own anthills, right? The little worlds we live in where we think we're the center of everything.
It's easy to get caught up in our own perspective, isn't it?
It really is. But what if we all tried to, step outside of ourselves a little, tried to see things from a different angle, even if that thing seems small or insignificant at first?
Like Lucas did with the ants.
Exactly. You might be amazed by what you discover, like the wisdom and the beauty that's hidden in plain sight, if we just open ourselves up to it.
So there you have it, Ant Bully,
Mm.
a kids movie with some surprisingly deep ideas about empathy, community, and finding our place in the world.
Who knew, right?
Right. So next time you see an anthill, maybe take a second, look a little closer. You never know what you might learn.
I think that's the perfect note to end on. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.